Good morning, Deer Park High School. Today is Wednesday, May 2nd, 2018. I'm Alexis Balderas.
And I'm Destiny Hernandez. Today we explore what makes a good teacher and later why boxing isn't included in high school athletics. But first, your weekly news.
Yearbooks are still on sale until Friday, May 4th. Yearbooks cost $60. To order them, head online to www.tring.com/validate. Also, seniors, cap and gown deliveries are May 18th. This is the only day to get your cap and gown, so be sure to mark your calendars.
Get your suits and fancy dresses ready because prom's coming up. Tickets go on sale next Monday, May 7th to May 11th during all lunches. Only seniors may purchase prom tickets and an ID must be shown to purchase. No more than 2 tickets per senior may be purchased. The permission slip for anyone bringing a non-DPHS student is on dpisd.org and must be turned into Mr. Grisham. Tickets cost $70 per person and will not be sold at the door during prom night.
This week is Teacher Appreciation Week. Teachers are some of the most hardworking people and rarely get the recognition they deserve. Jillian Jones and Dean Schlischer explore what makes a great teacher.
Good teachers empower students by being flexible, providing a safe environment, and keeping students engaged with their lessons. Teachers have to struggle daily to be adjustable and work with their students to ensure the best possible outcome.
With education, everything starts with a relationship, and that means that from moment to moment, if I'm needed by a student in whatever capacity, whether it's helping with a class or writing a recommendation letter or something like that, that availability is important.
Another challenge teachers face is engaging their students. Though teachers strive to make learning enjoyable, students also have a responsibility to meet their teachers halfway to keep the classroom productive.
I feel like if students are having fun, they will be more willing to learn, but I think the long-term retention also comes from having fun. I think back to stuff I remember, 20 and 30 years down the road, and usually it's from a class that I was with a teacher that was engaging and that cared and that we had a lot of fun. I still remember those tips and tricks, 25 years later. And the classes that were not as exciting, that you'll remember it for the test, but I don't think long-term it just doesn't stick, for me anyway.
I think it is important most of the time, but I also think that there are times that one of the skills that a student has to learn is how to persevere even when things are boring and even when somebody's not making you. But the engagement has to be there at some point.
Arguably, the most important aspect of a good teacher's classroom is the formation of a safe learning environment. With safety comes an increased opportunity for growth.
I think if a student feels threatened or not comfortable in your class, then like I said earlier, they're not going to remember these things long term. They're going to be less likely to be excited or to be engaged. And I think if, you can't force learning, they have to be willing. So I think, feeling safe in your classroom, feeling safe to make mistakes, don't make you feel like you're, an insufficient student. I think that's super important.
It's crucial to provide a safe learning environment. There's all kinds of theory and research that backs up the idea that if we don't feel safe, we're not going to grow. And so safety is the first priority, making sure that people feel secure enough to relax and start to grow. And the way that you provide that, I think, is by doing a whole lot of listening. That there are days where no matter how frustrated you are, you stop and pay attention to somebody that is having an issue that is completely outside of yourself, and you soothe that before you get to any kind of academics.
Though teaching isn't an exact science, these qualities help teachers to provide the best opportunity for students. Great teachers go beyond the curriculum and establish long-lasting personal connections with their students.
Thanks, guys. In sports news, the Deer Park baseball team defeated LaPorte last Saturday with a score of 6-2 to capture the district championship. The bi-district baseball playoffs against Summer Creek start this Thursday at 7 p.m. at Summer Creek High School. Game 2 is Friday at 7 p.m. here at home, and Game 3 is Saturday at 2 if necessary.
The softball team also plays this Thursday and Friday versus Brazoswood. Both games begin at 7 p.m. at Alvin High School. Good luck, girls. In boxing, a rematch between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Triple G Golovkin was to take place this Saturday, but was canceled because Canelo tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Though that is now disputed, Golovkin will instead defend his middleweight title against Vanessa Martirosyan this Saturday.
Though boxing has long been a part of the American sports landscape, it is too violent for youth to participate in. Monica Barrera looks into why it's absent in American schools.
Injuries are present in any sport. Even despite the wide-ranging risks found in sports like football, basketball, and soccer, none have been as negatively impacted as boxing.
Boxing is an art. It's a sport that you learn how to do. So before somebody steps in the ring, we actually take at least a year to prepare our guys before they're actually able to get their first fights. You don't get hurt because of the sport, because you already trained, you already did all the proper training to know what to expect when you're boxing.
But due to the physical nature of the sport, it's no surprise that many find boxing to be too dangerous to allow in schools.
Boxing is very violent compared to football, basketball, soccer. Okay, even though that football is very violent in itself, boxing you're getting direct blows to the head repetitively. Whereas in football, if you tackle correctly, you're not using your head as a weapon. Soccer, heading the ball is very violent, but again, if you are prepared for it, it's different.
Though sports such as football and soccer have had their fair share of injuries, they are still seen as being less severe.
Football, typically, you're only going to have one contact, whether it be with another person's helmet, shoulder pad, the ground, or another part of the body. The difference is in boxing is they're extremely more violent. In my opinion, they're more violent. In football, if you use your head as a weapon, if you're mistimed your tackle, you can be able to have a significant injury to those. But as far as from boxing to football, in my opinion, boxing is extremely more violent.
Though there are valid medical concerns about boxing, there are potential benefits as well.
I actually had kids with, ADD that joined the sport, and their parents tell us, hey, man, my kid's doing awesome in school now. So at an early age, I'm talking about boys that are 8, 9-year-old girls, their parents tell me this stuff.
Precautions can be taken to make boxing less of a danger and allow for the sport to be viewed like any other.
You wear helmets, to start out fighting. You wear bigger arms gloves to fight. You wear a protective cup to fight. You're very protected, and there's a referee watching, making sure there's no rabbit punching, in comparison to MMA where anything goes, guys get hit with elbows and, headbutts, and all of that's legal, In our sport, it's an art. People, hey, that's a foul punch, it's not allowed.
Boxing has the potential to present both physical and emotional benefits, and, under the right circumstances, is no more dangerous than other contact sports. With common sense precautions in place, it is possible for boxing to grow as a sport.
That's it for this week. From all of us here at the Deer Network, I'm Destiny Hernandez.
And I'm Alexis Balderas. Have a good day and a wonderful rest of the week.
And go Deer!